This woman named Stella woke up in an empty, dark room. Confused about where she was, Stella tried to find a way out and screamed for help, but no one heard her. The question is, how did she end up there? So Stella herself was a long-married woman. She and her husband were childless and seemed to be living happily. Unfortunately, recently, her husband's attitude began to change. When Stella asked him to be intimate, he always refused, and she was forced to be intimate alone. You know what he meant. Stella's family was not in need. Her husband was wealthy. However, over time, Stella grew bored with her monotonous life. She wanted to return to her youth and live freely. But unfortunately, Stella went too far. That day, when she returned home, she was shocked to find her husband recording her being intimate with two men at once. Of course, her husband didn't accept this, and a huge commotion ensued. Back in the present, a man in a hazmat suit came into the dark room and gave Stella some items. There, Stella found a cell phone, but the battery was dead. It turned out the room was equipped with CCTV cameras, and Stella's movements were monitored 24/7. A few moments later, the man reappeared, tied Stella to the bed, and then, you better watch the full version yourself. Shortly afterward, another woman was brought into the room. Her name was Kristen. Her face was filled with fear, with a scar on her forehead. Why was she thrown in there with Stella? Before all this happened, Stella's life outside was completely out of control. After her husband saw the recording, Stella became even more out of control. He finally gave in and let her do whatever she wanted, including flirting with anyone. Not only that, Stella also registered for a flirting website and became a member. One of her co-workers found out about this. Surprisingly, Stella wasn't embarrassed at all. They even agreed to try a different kind of flirting. Afterward, Stella stated that their relationship was just friendship, but her coworker wanted more. Stella, of course, refused and asked her coworker to stay away, except for work matters. Meanwhile, Stella was still confused as to why she and Kristen were locked up together. Over time, their time together slowly brought them closer. Although initially unfamiliar, the days they spent together created strange sparks between them. One day, Stella attended a masquerade ball where attendees were free to do whatever they wanted. Stella met a man, wealthier, much older than her, invited him along, and of course, they became intimate. In that dark room, Stella was tied up and drugged almost every day. It turned out that the mysterious man wasn't alone. There were two people in hazmat suits there. Since Kristen's presence, Stella's days were no longer lonely. They shared stories about their pasts. This is what deepened their closeness. So, who is Kristen? She is a wife whose husband betrayed her. The man had a relationship with another woman, and to her surprise, the woman was Stella. Kristen witnessed her husband making out with Stella. To avenge this, Kristen engaged her husband in a passionate kiss, then killed him. Her next target was Stella. It turned out that Kristen was the one behind the hazmat suit, assisted by her friend. However, her friend was angry because Kristen had begun to soften towards Stella. Their initial goal was to destroy Stella's mental state, causing her to lose her sanity. When an argument broke out between them, Stella seized the opportunity to kill Kristen from behind. Kristen's friend, meanwhile, fled and locked the door from the outside. Stella was once again confined in the room, until finally someone opened the door and Stella was free. The freedom she had been waiting for had finally arrived. And finally, the film ended.